So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 20, text 18, translation. A transcendentalist, having become disgusted and hopeless in all endeavors for material happiness, completely controls the senses and develops detachment. By spiritual practice, he should then fix the mind on the spiritual platform without deviation. Purport. The inevitable result of material sense gratification is disappointment and pain that sears the heart. One becomes gradually hopeless and despondent in material life. Then, receiving good instructions from the Lord and his devotee, one transforms one's material disappointment into spiritual success. Actually, Lord Krishna is our only true friend, and this simple understanding can bring one to a new life of spiritual happiness in the company of the Lord. Yadarambeshu nirvino virakta samyatindriyaha abhyasen atmano yogi darayed achalam manaha. A transcendentalist, having become disgusted and hopeless in all endeavors for material happiness, completely controls the senses and develops detachment. By spiritual practice, he should then fix the mind on the spiritual platform without deviation. So this is Lord Krishna speaking to Uddhava, and a big section of the 11th canto is called Uddhava Gita, the song. With the instructions given by Lord Krishna in the form of a song to Uddhava. And here is many things are very relevant and obviously relevant to us. That someone who has become a transcendentalist, he had to go through frustration. He was a person who was trying to enjoy the material world, and in his efforts to do that, he has become disgusted and hopeless, thank you, in his endeavors for material happiness. To me, one of the most important words in this verse is abhyasena, which means by practice. So many times people ask, how can I do this? How can I do that? How can I achieve this? How can I achieve that? And the answer is very simple: by practice, by daily practice. One of the best secrets or open secrets of success that I know of is daily practice. If you see any person who has succeeded in any area of life, it must be that they have been practicing and doing things every single day for a long time, or if not in this life, then in the next life, in past life they have been doing. But success is not an accident. And here in the purport there is a wonderful statement, and it says that one can transform one's material disappointment into spiritual success. Now, what ordinary people are trying to achieve is to turn material disappointment into material success. But this doesn't work. Sometimes it works, but it's temporary. The results are temporary. So we want to transform material disappointment into spiritual success. So we are very lucky that we were not successful or not happy in the material world. those who are happy and successful in the material world, they are very unlucky because they remain attached, they remain bound. Sometimes devotees come to me and say, why Krishna? Why, so many people are happy, but I'm not happy. Why Krishna doesn't give me some happiness? People in the material world, they have family, house, job, and I have nothing. So we have also people joining Krishna consciousness and not being happy. Something is missing, something is lacking. And many people are like this. Many devotees are also like this. They are not fully happy, they are a little bit happy. Maybe they have enough taste to stay, but something is missing. Something is always missing. And this is the illusion of the material world, that something is missing. Upanishad says, Om Purnam Adak Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadayam Purnameva Vashishyate, that the Lord, who is the source of everything, He is complete, and everything He creates is complete. All the units that He has created are also complete. And we always think something is lacking. And we always think, when I get this, I will be happy. And this is illusion. We have heard this, we know theoretically that this is illusion, but still we have heart full of desires that if I get something, then I will be happy. So, if one gives up this conception that if I get something I will be happy, and he is happy with what he already has, and tries to give something to others, to share, then he can experience permanent happiness. The word Sanatana Dharma is really amazing. It describes our eternal position, and it says that our eternal nature is service. And service includes giving also. So, Krishna Dharma Prabhu, whom many of you know, who has compiled Mahabharata and Ramayana, he has amazing Facebook posts. I highly recommend. Very short, one sentence, but very, very deep, very relevant and inspiring. And he wrote once that those who are happy on this planet are those who give, not those who take. So you have heard this many times, that happiness is in giving, but still many of us think, I will be happy when I get something, not when I give. And we have gotten so much mercy already, and we're trying maybe to share it, but we're not aware of the value, what we are sharing. Like, for example, you are distributing books, but it can be mechanical. You maybe have some like Vaishya quality, and you can sell anything. I met such devotees who were extremely successful Sankirtan devotees, and they can sell anything to anyone. Somehow they have this Shakti. But they were not aware of the value of what they were giving to people in the form of Srila Prabhupada's books, and they stopped doing this and then continued selling something else. And sometimes I remember my former spiritual master, he was saying that we are selling these books for a price. I mean, in our zone, in the this middle or Eastern European zone, we actually sold books for a price, not for a donation. We always sold a book for a fixed price, because people there, they appreciate more if they pay a fixed price. And then he was saying that how much they give, 10 euros, 5 euros, or pounds. this book is worth its weight in gold minimum, but even we can say 100 times more. So we are listening to the same things again and again. We're listening about controlling the mind, we're listening about giving up materialist desires, that it will not bring us happiness. And still we have a dream that maybe we can enjoy a little bit more in this world, a little longer. And then what do we say about this? We say, well, it's my nature. It's just me. It's my nature. What can I do? I have these desires. So what can you do about desires is that you can choose what you desire. You say, but I'm not choosing. I think these desires have chosen me. I'm not choosing these desires. And they're very strong. They are like part of me. But can you maybe step aside a little bit and look at your mind, which has thinking, feeling, and willing, thinking, feeling, and desires, and look at your desires as something. Look at some from the side. Look at these desires as something that is maybe not you. This sentence, "It is my nature," is, although it's true that we need to engage our conditioned nature in Krishna service and purify it, but also it is my nature. This is one of the greatest excuses that exist in the material world. People who are outside of Krishna consciousness, they use this excuse a lot. And devotees' great excuse is, I'm not qualified. If you ask a devotee, why don't you give a class, or why don't you preach, or why don't you become a leader, or why don't you take responsibility? I'm not qualified. So both groups have favorite excuses. And what is the result of making excuses? The result of making excuses is that you don't get good results if you make excuses. So excuses, according to coaching philosophy, are actually a great obstacle to achieving results and success. And we always make excuses. The nature of most people's mindset, including many devotees, I have this privilege to talk to many devotees, is that we all make excuses all the time, consciously or unconsciously. And this is a great obstacle. So if we can just remove this, like if you drive a car and you press the brakes and also press the accelerator, and you see the car is not going so well. And then your friend is sitting next to you and say, but why are you pressing this brake? Oh, you're right. Maybe I should lift my foot. And you lift your foot, and then the car goes really fast. So apart from positively being engaged in devotional service, it's good to actually remove obstacles. Yesterday we spoke about, with some devotees, about obstacles, and it's good to actually avoid what is unfavorable, because this can speed up our advancement. But on the positive side, also to be engaged in something that is very, very favorable. It says here, one becomes gradually hopeless and despondent in material life. This is such luck. Do you consider yourself lucky that you have become hopeless in your efforts to enjoy material life? Now, this very elegant sentence that one transforms one's material disappointment into spiritual success, the question is how, and do you remember? I just read it. Do you remember how? How one transforms material disappointment into spiritual success? If you have heard, maybe you remember.
whatever obstacles that we have, and then seeing it how this can be used to either deepen our Krishna consciousness or deepen a certain quality that we can improve ourselves on. So then it can be used as a tool to move forward.
Shri Radha Ishwar ki Jai, Paladev Subhadra ki Jai, Ishwar Vital ki Jai, Krishna Maharaj ki Jai. What you said is good, and it's related, but I'm looking for the point that was made here in the purport.
To control senses and develop depth.
What you are saying is in the purport, but this is not it. It is in the purport.
Fixing mind on the spiritual.
How can we transform material disappointment into spiritual success? How can we do that? What can help us?
The association and the teaching. Association of masters.
Association of?
Association of master means spiritual master. Then you have to go there. Then you can
Okay.
do it.
Okay. Okay, it says here, by receiving good instructions from the Lord or his devotee. So by Vani. Vani? Who doesn't know what is Vani? There is two devotees don't know what is Vani. Vani is the honey. People think that money is the honey, and we think that money is the honey. So you can serve the vapu, or the form, physical form of the spiritual master, and you can serve his instructions. Vani his teachings or his instructions. That's why we have Vanipedia, online encyclopedia of Srila Prabhupada's teachings. 14,000 categories. 14,000 categories, 1/4. And there is a new search option, newly made. I can send you that link. You can get categories very quickly, any category, any topic, almost anything you can think of, and you can get so many Prabhupada's quotes about this. It's really like a great service. For 10 years, 11 years they are doing this. They are doing this encyclopedia and trying to present Srila Prabhupada's teachings in a comprehensive way. So Vani, instructions are so precious, and we are very attracted to instructions in the beginning, but as we join ISKCON, we slowly forget about instructions, or maybe we get too busy with service, with following instructions. But instructions or teachings are the form of mercy, and we don't take advantage of that mercy enough. We don't read enough, we don't hear enough. So that's very unfortunate. Srila Prabhupada said these books are not only for distributing, they are also for reading and studying and applying. Here it is mentioned that Lord Krishna is our only true friend. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Sukhridam Sarva Bhutanam, that Krishna is the greatest friend. Sukhi. He is the best friend. And if one believes this, then he is in a very strong position, in a very protected position. So, but you have met devotees, or maybe you yourself have had doubts that Krishna is friend. So how do you, when somebody says, how can I know that Krishna is my friend? I have so many problems. And I'm trying to serve, but I still have so many problems. I'm trying to surrender, I still have so many problems. So how do you preach to such a person who makes such a statement? Or how do you preach to yourself, your mind, when you have doubts about this, yes?
Having
friendship in that way with Krishna doesn't necessarily mean we won't face problems, but you've got someone to take shelter of in the midst of problems, and so it will not affect you as much as otherwise. You just take shelter of Krishna.
So you had that experience yourself. Krishna helped you.
Taking shelter of even though one's got various problems and things to deal with, by taking shelter of Krishna, you're better equipped to deal with it and not be so affected by it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Be patient, stick to the process, and in due time, your problems will fade away. New problems will come, but your problems will fade away.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
This is.
You know, they say that as you get more advanced, the tests get tougher. The tests get heavier. So.
Yeah, but the problems that you experience in that moment probably will be gone.
At least this one will be gone. This easier one. Okay, that's a little bit reassuring and consoling. But what about the new ones, the heavy tests? Okay, yes.
So as a friend, Krishna as a friend is obviously wants the best of us and is helping us in many different ways, always thinking how to help us. But also he sends his devotees. So we have a lot of association around us. So in the form of Srila Prabhupada's books, or the devotees who are living in community. So we can, so Krishna through the devotees can help us and guide us. So we always have access to that as long as we can reveal our hearts and know how to associate with the devotees.
Okay. So this is something practical, but sometimes devotees say that nobody cares. Nobody approached me. Nobody ever asked me how I am. That's why I left ISKCON. I went to another community, and people are so kind, and they really care about me. I'm not so Krishna conscious now, and I'm not following everything, but at least they're kind to me. So they leave. But through the association of devotees, we can experience Lord's care. And Mother Teresa said that if we don't show people that God cares about them, how they will know it? So she took responsibility to be an instrument in Lord's hands and care for people. So through devotees we can see that He is friend, if devotees are friendly. So you can be an instrument in Lord's hands by being friendly, by being kind to people, by being supportive and encouraging and helpful, and in this way help to increase their faith. Niranjan Maharaj, who was very successful in developing a devotee care system in Ukraine and I think in parts of Russia, we asked him, in Italy, what is most important in devotee care? And he said, to grow their faith. To grow their faith. To help devotees develop their faith. Because if someone has faith, he will face anything and he will never leave. He can go through anything if he has faith. That's the greatest gift. If we can instill faith or inspire faith or show by our own example how much faith we have despite all the trials and tribulations, this is such a precious thing. You wanted to say something? You? No? But you were raising your hand, no? Dancing?
Then you answered.
Joy, love, and what was this? Joy, love? Joy?
Bliss.
Bliss.
Ananda.
Okay. Okay, so we can ask this hard question: how much do I really have faith that Lord is my best friend? But if you have friends among devotees, I mean, it's not so difficult to believe that. Krishna's devotees are my friends. Devotees. Sometimes devotees tell me, if you ask me how I'm doing, then I believe that God didn't forget me. I mean, somebody who lives far away. Or some, not me, but anybody. If somebody asks me how am I doing, then I believe that Lord didn't forget me. And this is also illusion, because Lord never forgets that person forgets the Lord. But I'm just saying that through the devotees, people can get faith that the Lord cares for them. And this is why we try hard to develop devotee care systems and mentoring systems, like inspire devotees to become caregivers, mentors, counselors, coaches, and what else? Maybe sometimes therapists. Tripad Prabhu, you know what Tripad Prabhu? He's our receptionist. He's almost a legend. But why? It's not only because of picking up the phone, but because he has an attitude of helping people. He wants to help people. I have seen it myself. He also helped me when I was here. And he always has some new thing that he has discovered. I mean, I can say maybe I met him once a year. He has always some new thing that he has discovered how to help people. And he told me just the other day that, sometimes devotees practice Krishna consciousness for so long, but they are not happy. And he wants to find a way to make them happy. So he always learns. I mean, sometimes somebody is not happy because he has maybe a disease, or physical problems, or mental disturbance. And now he has what you can ask him about this. I'm not going to speak about this here. You can ask him. He has now a new system, and if you have a problem, he might be able to help you. I'm just speaking about the attitude, about what he's thinking about, when he's sitting there. He's thinking about how to help devotees, how to help people, how to help homeless people. It's a nice example. A nice attitude. So, how can we develop this caring mentality if we don't feel like this at the moment? Well, you know that in marketing, what is most important in marketing? What is the most important question in marketing? Selling anything.
The client?
Huh?
The client?
No, question. I'm asking what is the most important question in marketing? Yes, the client is the most important person, but what is the most important question? In relation to a client, yeah?
What do they want?
How much?
Yes, what else?
What do they want?
What?
What do they want?
What do they want? Okay, we're coming close. Do you know what is WIFM radio station?
What's in it for me?
Yes. This is such a simple question, but it's so deep. What's in it for them? Like you may say, I'm a great life coach, I have 3 diplomas, I have so much training, I have 1,000 clients and 2,000 sessions, and they say, I don't care. So how they will know that you can help them? Have a trial session, and then see, okay, let's have a trial session, and if you think I can help you, we can continue and you can start paying me. I don't do that, I don't charge, but I mean, just in case somebody is a coach. And they can be convinced that you can serve them, you can help them, but you can have so many, you can have like framed diplomas, and who cares about this? So what's in it for them? So if you want to sell anything, you come with books and you are so convinced about their value, but people are not convinced. So if you say something that triggers this thought, oh, there is something for me in there, then they will be interested to buy it. And like this, for any kind of anything. So personal interest is the greatest motivator, and you don't believe me that if you help others, it's good for you. Why I can say that you don't believe me? Because you don't do it. I mean, you are doing it, but you can do it 10 times more, 100 times more. I'm convinced you can do it much more. Helping others in some anyway, one way or the other. if you're convinced that it is in your own personal interest, then you would do it like anything. If you're convinced that this will bring you back to Godhead, you would do it like anything. If you are convinced that this will help you develop love of God, you would do it like anything. But because you are not convinced, or because we are not convinced, we are not doing it, or we are not doing it enough. So this is called unfortunate. And Bhagavan means fortunate. So if you want to become fortunate, I'm not concocting this. Krishna says the most dear to me is the person who preaches, is helping others. And I heard that in Ukraine, there was one Mataji who never gave up on devotee care system. Everybody gave up. It broke a few times, didn't work. They wanted to shut it down. And she continued. And now they have 150 mentors. Can you imagine that? So at least these devotees are committed to get trained. Maybe they are not so skilled at the moment, but to get trained to support others, to help others. And maybe I say this always when I come, I don't remember, but I say this in many places, that our movement is so amazing. Just look at this temple. I mean, yesterday, almost every devotee I talk to, in Govindas or in the park, while I'm here, they say, this place is so amazing. I'm so appreciated to be near this place. The first day it is installed in Europe, and so beautiful. And so much appreciation is there. And so many people are coming, and we have festivals, we have amazing food, amazing music, amazing arts. Everything looks so nice and smells so nice. And we have beautiful people coming, and beautiful devotees, and beautifully dressed. And if we add care, genuine care, if we give up all envy and add care, who will resist this movement? Even those from other religions will come and say, please, I want to be with you, or be around here. Because when people feel that their life is important to us, they will stay. They will never go away. So now you have a chance, any one of you have a chance to become an instrument and show people that Krishna loves them, that Srila Prabhupada loves them. And this will be also your personal success. I mean, it will accelerate, I think, your advancement 100 times more. And you can choose what kind of preaching you want to do. Somebody likes to distribute books. This is highly merciful activity. Somebody likes to distribute prasadam, highly merciful activity. And in preaching, miracles can happen. I heard during the protests, one miracle happened. Somebody gave huge donation to Parashuram Prabhu. I don't think it happens every day or every week, but So Krishna inspires people to support this movement. It's not so much about money, but that somebody can make a decision to give like so much money. Krishna must be involved in this, because Krishna is the master of Lakshmi. So he must be involved in this somehow, to inspire that person to part with his hard-earned money. It's amazing. So now, if you are at least curious, and you believe me that it will benefit you, then look into those devotees who are doing this already in one way or the other, and then ask them, how are you doing this? I mean, can you help me develop this mentality? Like, for example, management is also highly valuable, because management facilitates everything else, even care for management facilitates. So what does that mean? That, okay, maybe you're not inclined to be like a nanny or a nurse, care, but you support this, you support people's development by organizing everything very nicely. Prabhupada said, we should all be expert preachers and managers, or both of these things. And not all of us can do both things, but we can work together and somebody can do one thing and another thing. And if we are doing really amazing things and we are losing people, we are not successful. We are bringing in new people, but our devotees who don't feel supported or cared for, they leave and go somewhere else. And now there is so much competition. There is New Age groups, there is all kinds of spiritual groups, healers, yoga teachers. Now yoga teachers, there is millions of yoga teachers. Life coaching, nowadays everybody is a coach. Psychotherapists become coaches. People who are really Vaishyas become coaches, and coaching is more Brahminical activity, but they see it's a good way to make money, so they call themselves coaches. You have coaches for the body, like a personal trainer, and so many kinds of coaching. Coaching is a buzzword, so it can attract customers. And so we are not the only spiritual group. People go to other groups. Sometimes our own people leave because they have been maybe fried or something. And so along with all of these things that we have, if we add this dimension of showing genuine care for people, not sentimental care, but care in all kinds of ways, like holistic care, body, mind, and spirit, and then this movement will be irresistible. It's already quite irresistible. Sometimes a little strange for people, the dress, but and if you read the introduction to Science of Self-Realization, Mukunda Maharaj describes very nicely how Srila Prabhupada was so caring. And Vijay Venugopala Prabhu from Middle East, he is the veteran of Bhakti Diksha program in the Middle East, Jagtaka Maharaj's disciple. He compiled a book of almost 100 pages, which is called Care Personified, and it describes many anecdotes of Srila Prabhupada's care for devotees in 7-8 areas, not only one area, 7-8 areas. So if you read this, I think you can be inspired to add more care, more being personal to your own service that you're doing, or maybe dedicate more to that area of service. I think our movement needs a lot of parents, caring parents, or uncles, or I don't know. Jagata Maharaj said we need more grandmothers. So grandmother is even more patient, more, more loving, more caring with grandchildren. And then people can feel good here. They can feel good here. So thank you for listening. Do you have any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Akrura, for a wonderful class again. Really thoughtful class, thank you. A devotee is engaged in caring for people like 6-7 hours a day in regards to distributing books. I mean, that must be one of the most wonderful things you can do, caring for people. Then, when they finish book distribution, then when they come to the temple, back to the temple, then they're kind of quite insular. They're quite, they don't carry the same mood as such. Perhaps more for taking care of their own sadhana and own practice. But I don't know if the question makes sense. How can we spread the feeling? We're distributing books and we really want to help people, but then in the association with devotees, it may not be there. That same mentality might not be there. It's just about trying to find some space on your own and do your own thing, you know. Does that make sense as a question?
What is your question?
How can we be always, how can a Buddhist student always, or someone who's preaching, also have that same mood within the association of devotees, trying to help people? Sorry, complicated.
Distribute books to devotees. or inspire them to read them more. If Sankirtan devotee is reading regularly, because this is the best thing he's giving, the books. So, I mean, distributing books to devotees is also important because devotees don't read books very much. So, they're too busy. So,
It's like sharing Prabhupada's books, reading them with devotees and sharing.
I was treated by Harinamananda Prabhu, a legend from Switzerland. I was treated in such a way. There was one very famous, I don't want to mention his name, very famous authority and Sankirtan devotee who preached to me to go out on books, and he fell asleep. He said, "You are so hard." He was also tired from his journey. "You are so hard," and he fell asleep, and I left. Then Harinamananda Prabhu came, and he said, "Oh, Akrura, you are translating books. If you didn't translate books, I couldn't distribute them. Your service is so important and so valuable." And he didn't ever tell me to go out. And after having his darshan, I went out. And door to door, maybe a couple of days in one marathon, and distributing something. So, why I'm saying this, that Sankirtan devotees can share their compassion that they have also with the devotees in the temple, that they have for people. They can share their realization, they can share their reading. And he was doing that. And devotees were so inspired by him. So if we are serving and having amazing results and we are not becoming a more loving person, then what is our advancement? More compassionate, more patient, then what is our advancement? If we are not developing saintly qualities. So I think this is a topic for the Ishtagoshti, like Sankirtan meeting. Sankirtan meetings maybe discuss how can we distribute more books or some inspirational stories, but they can discuss how can we love devotees more in the temple when we come back. Harinamananda, he was saying that I'm only distributing books and everything else is done by others. Cooking, car repair, facilities to stay in the temple. I get clothes. I get money for the gas and so many things. He said, out of all these activities that facilitate book distribution, I am only distributing books. So why I'm so important? So he had this amazing perception of his service. While other devotees, they think that they're most important in the universe, but those who think like this, after some time they stop distributing books. They lose because they're too proud. So, book distributors they're like saints, wandering saints, and when they come to the temple, they can inspire devotees so much and appreciate devotees so much. Okay, you want to add something to this?
Thank you.
Okay. Yes?
I'm just wondering how in the chapter 12 of devotional studies about the verse was mentioning about the qualities that are very dear to Krishna, and the first one who is not envious but is a kind friend to living entities. So if you maybe could speak a few words about
Srila Prabhupada gives a very tough definition of non-enviousness or non-violence. He says non-enviousness means, if one is not preaching or Krishna consciousness, he is envious. So non-enviousness doesn't mean that, I don't care if you have something. I'm not jealous or envious if you have something. But if we don't actively give something to people, support people, help people, give them, preach to them, support them on their spiritual journey, then we are envious. I was a little shocked when I read this. If you don't actively help people, you're envious. Not only if you're not disturbed if they have something, but and this is the greatest obstacle actually in relationships, in cooperation, in devotee care. There is very bold coaches who say the greatest obstacle in coaching is the ego of the coach. They don't say like unserious, not serious client. They say the ego of the coach is the greatest obstacle. So imagine if we can think like this. I am the greatest obstacle in helping devotees. So let me learn something. There is so much amazing knowledge how to help people. So we can learn and then get better at this. Learn whole life, not only get a degree, but learn whole life. Learn from everybody. How do you do this? Some people wonder, I think once when I was in Alatra, then one Mataji, senior Mataji said, she asked Radhanath Maharaj, how do you get people to open up to you so quickly and tell you everything? I don't remember what was his answer. Or maybe he asked him personally, but she didn't share. And she asked him personally, she didn't share what he replied. Some people come to you have experienced that immediately they tell you all their darkest secrets because they feel that you care. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Praise the Akrura Prabhu Ki.
Jai.